So the women's national championship game ended yesterday, and my God, what a great game! What a great game! First quarter, Caitlin Clark was looking like 2018 Braun out there. USC looked fantastic. They were the better team, and they showed it. Clear talent did from both sides of the court. It was a fantastic game, and I think it was a celebration of everything that's been culminating within women's basketball over the last 2 years. And it is the end of a chapter and the start of a new one, as a lot of these players move on to the WNBA. And at the nucleus of this solar system is one Caitlin Clark. We can play coy all we want. We can lie to ourselves all we want, but let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a stack. The star of the show, the reason why we have been paying attention, the reason why the world has been put on notice when it comes to women's basketball, not even just NCAA basketball. Women's basketball is one Caitlin Clark. For the last 2 years, and honestly her whole career, she's been averaging like a 30, like Luka numbers, 38 and 8. She got the game of a Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? With the long bombs, with the pull-up threes, with the crazy shooting. One of the greatest passes I've ever seen as well. My goodness, the way she is able to throw those dots so confidently, so consistently. I swear to God, she'd average like 12 assists if she just had teammates that, number one, were like, I'm not trying to say they're incompetent, but like some of those passes are just, oh my God, like I wouldn't even know how to catch them. Type shit. Like, oh my God, I didn't even know like you could throw that needle that way, So some of those passes are crazy. And like, they just miss finishes and shots sometimes. But nevertheless, the attention has been a lot for women's basketball. And when it comes to WNBA conversations, WNBA players have always been already criticized and scrutinized for how they respond to criticism. The way to respond to other players when they criticize their sport feels hella defensive. And when it comes to this woman putting the game on, there's been this conversation of, WNBA players are hating. WNBA players are hating. Are they not? That's a discussion I want to have today. I want to shout out Sam Akaru for this video right here. I just seen it on my homepage. Let's have this discussion. Link to this video will be in the description down below, by the way, as well. Let's get it popping.
Before there was a Caitlin Clark, there was a woman named Skylar Diggins. I didn't say Skylar Diggins was the player as far as like massive impact Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese have had on college basketball, women's basketball in general now. Skylar Diggins was somebody comparable, and I'm using her as an example for a reason. She was a potential cash cow. The OGs of the WNBA, anytime there's like a new star who could potentially grow their game and keep them from flying spirit, they always hate on them. I'll show you how they treated Skylar Diggins. Phoenix Mercury Skylar Diggins Smith alleged Thursday that the team has not allowed her to use his practice facility while on maternity leave this season. Responding to a fan on Twitter who noted the organization did not wish Diggins Smith a happy birthday on social media the previous day. Six-time All-Star responded, "They're not going to acknowledge me this year, and it's okay, guys. We're not affiliated unless it's the checks per management. I can't even use a practice facility or any resources."
Oh my God.
Recent collective bargaining agreement, Phoenix has paid Diggins Smith full salary while she's still on maternity leave. Diggins Smith later posted to social media that she has no access to massage therapists, chiropractors, chefs, strength and conditioning, nutritionists, accessibility that every other athlete has access to. However, I'm still down 48 pounds on my own and I'm feeling great. Then, not too long later, Skylar Diggins Smith and Diana Taurasi separated after heated exchange. Just the video. So y'all see Skylar right here? She got mad, got in her face. So they arguing. So they had to be separated on the bench. Use that example to say that the same pettiness that like these people are showing Skylar Diggins, that's going on to Caitlin Clark. But the problem with this is Caitlin Clark is probably one of the biggest women's basketball athletes we've seen in the past and probably ever. Can't afford.
I would even go as far as to say one of the biggest college athletes ever. I had this take that I put up out on TikTok yesterday. I think Caitlin Clark yesterday, wherever you were, cemented herself as one of the 10 most influential basketball figures in history. Full stop. Not in the last 20 years, not with just college basketball, not just with the WNBA, not just the NBA. One of the 10 most influential basketball figures of all time. Basketball players. I don't know about figures, coaches and all of that might change that list up. But let me just go players. I think her influence on the game is Allen Iverson-esque, is Steph Curry-esque in terms of getting eyeballs on the sport, changing the culture of the sport, putting respect on the sport. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think I'll never say that Steph Curry did that, but to put respect on a sport that people have been clowning, that people have been saying is an inferior product, it's unwatchable because of how unskilled it is, to put that whole sport, that whole subdivision of a sport on the map and make it watchable and make it entertaining. And again, I understand, the Angel Reeses of the world have played a part in that as well. Flajay Johnson, Don Staley in USC, you know what I'm saying? Aaliyah Boston, Paige Beckers, Cameron Brink, all of these players, they have played a part in that. Juju Watkins coming up, all of them have played a part in that. But I can only speak for myself, but I feel like as well, like a lot of people who have started watching college women's basketball over the last 2 years also feel this way. They heard about Caitlin Clark. They started paying attention to Caitlin Clark, and that turned into a ripple effect of finding out about everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Because of a Caitlin Clark, I found out how good LSU was and Angel Reese. I found out about a Haley Van Lith. I found out about everyone at USC. And then that trickled down into, at least for me, going down a rabbit hole of, okay, who are these WNBA greats? You know what I'm saying? Who is considered the top 10 all time? Who is considered the GOAT in the college basketball game and all of these things? Very reminiscent of, I'm not going to lie, when I first got into the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, the Celtics being the home team that went to the finals was the entry point. Kobe Bryant was another entry point as well. And that led into a rabbit hole of everything else that went on in the NBA verse. And I think for a lot of people, and again, I can only speak for myself, at least for me, Caitlin Clark has done that. But nevertheless,
to up what Caitlin Clark could bring to the WNBA. You can't this up. Tell me if I'm lying. The Las Vegas Aces have announced a venue change for their July 2nd game against the Indiana Fever.
Motion.
The Ultra Arena, 12,000 seats. T-Mobile Arena, 20,000 seats. The team's preparing for a matchup with Caitlin Clark, who hasn't even been drafted yet. Some LeBron shit. Like, we've never seen that from a woman. I ain't gonna lie, to this day, and I'm saying this because I'm biased, because I'm from North Carolina, I believe the NBA draft for Wnba was rigged. Yes, I'm biased. I'm from North Carolina. If it was rigged, I don't blame Adam Silver. I'm not going to risk sending a potential person who could, like, be good for the league once LeBron leaves to Charlotte, who'll probably be fighting a RICO charge right now. Somebody like Caitlin Clark, if I'm the commissioner, I'm not going to allow these old-ass WNBA players to up what could bring more money to the league. They be hating on the young talent. Those are the same girls who are going to be the reason you don't have to fly Spirit no more. Yesterday, you could see, like, the jealousy during like the whole thing, right? The entire time during the whole Iowa versus UConn game. Somebody tweeted, "Nah, the disrespect and negative energy for Caitlin Clark was there all night. Doesn't take much thought to know what Teresi was referring to. I'm taking Paige. Next question. No analysis or context. Don't be obtuse. You know what's going on here. I'll with Paige Beckers, but you've been watching Caitlin Clark all season. You gonna sit here and say you taking Paige Beckers number one over Caitlin Clark? Are you dumb? Watch this clip.
Hey, I'm taking Paige. Next question.
And then she gonna drink whatever dirty ass drink she got in her cup.
So you get the number one pick? Absolutely. I like that energy.
Then, during the broadcast, she was like, reality's coming soon on Caitlin Clark going to the WNBA. Well, people got to commend people like LeBron, KD, Steph Curry, those types of talents. They always embrace the young generation. Like, they tap in with the young talent. They embrace them. On the court, obviously, you're trying to kill each other, but like, they always embrace the young talent because they understand the young talent is going to grow the league. That's how.
You know what? That is interesting. Because I do think the NBA does have that same problem when it comes to old heads from the 90s and the 2000s talking about the current sport. But I don't hear that same energy from a Steph Curry, from a KD. I mean, LeBron's kind of trying to get it off. I will say that. LeBron's trying to get it off. He hates how the young players play. So I guess that is coming from LeBron. But I felt like there's at the very least been a progression in the right direction when it comes to the new old heads, that being the Steph Curry, James Harden, Paul George, LeBron, that generation, talking about the new gen players. Like, LeBron has showed nothing but love to a Victor Wembanyama. LeBron has showed nothing but love to a Jason Tatum, to a Luka Doncic, to an Anthony Edwards. Same thing with Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? And I think for WNBA players, and maybe it's because, the people we're asking are from the 2000s, or from that older generation that's used to old head conversations like that. That's just how that's just how they talk. But it is interesting to me, and I want to have this discussion with y'all in the comment section down below, of who started it, the chicken or the egg. This is a very interesting conversation when it comes to cross-generational debates with basketball. Is who started it, the chicken or the egg? Who started it, the old head or the new head? Because you can really make a case for both, but the more and more I really think about it, I think it does start with the new generation. It does start with the new generation bigging up something that, they're casuals. The new generation just trying to get into whatever they're trying to get into, for the most part, are casuals. I cannot lie to y'all and act like I'm a WNBA history aficionado, women's college basketball history aficionado. My specialties does lie with the NBA, right? But when I go out of the way and say, Caitlin Clark's about to dominate the WNBA, when I go out and say Caitlin Clark is the GOAT of women's basketball, which I'm not saying, but some people are making that, I've heard that. There has to be a pushback from the old heads of, wait a minute, this older generation existed. Wait a minute, I know there's this new guy on the block, but there are a lot of great players that you aren't even considering because you just didn't, one, you weren't there, two, you didn't watch them play, and three, you didn't do your research. You know what I'm saying? So when people bring up, wait, hold on, I know Paige Beckers is the new thing on the block, but what about Maya Moore? For me, the response, that chain of communication started with the new heads. For me. You know what I'm saying? I still think, however, you can go about it in a respectful way. I still think taking constant digs at this one person over time, that does show your character and your intentions and your bias. And that too, I've always said on this channel, like, everyone has their biases. It's just, we got to acknowledge what they are. But yeah, there is a right way to educate the past. Educate people about the past and the history of this thing without hating on the new generation. And maybe this is tone policing. It is what it is. I do believe tone and delivery matters. The way these old WNBA players are talking about this new generation does come off a little bit does come off a little bit bitter, a little bit petty, because of the tone of their voice. I think he's gonna get into it later. Well, he might have not showed it, but effectively, someone held the women's college basketball scoring record, and let me try to pull it up. Actually, let me try to pull it up because Omar tweeted about it. Right? Because shout out to Big O. He is my WNBA women's college basketball plug. He has put me onto a lot of this. This is from one Lynette Woodward. Okay. So, Hall of Famer Lynette Woodward says her all-time scoring record has not been broken by Caitlin Clark. So let's go ahead and listen to what she had to say.
I am the hidden figure, but no longer now. My record was hidden from everyone for 43 years. 43 years. I don't think, I'll just go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. I don't think my record has been broken because you can't duplicate what you're not duplicating. And so unless you come with a men's basketball and a two-point shot, hey, but just for you, so you can understand, so you can help me spread that word.
So was she lying? Were there differences in eras between her era and today's era? No, right? But it's just weird to me that you would even say this. Number one, opening up the clip with, I am the hidden figure. But now y'all know who I am because of what? Because of Caitlin Clark. Because she put attention on that scoring record, and now we knew who the fuck actually had that record number one. And then number two, it's just very weird to me because there's another clip of her, not even another clip of her. Apparently Iowa honored her record, put out the red carpet, had a tribute to her. Their coach spoke about it. Caitlin Clark spoke about it. And she didn't have this energy. She did not have this energy. She wasn't, I'm going to just address the elephant in the room. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give y'all the I'm going to give y'all the real tea. You know, the record ain't been broken because, like, whatever she said. Also, it's a weird take because if we bring it over to the men's side, like, hold on. Let me see this. Hold on. When was the 3-point line introduced? I'm pretty sure it's in the 80s. 3-point line was introduced in 1976. Hold on. Let me see. I believe so. Okay, the 3-point line was adopted by the NBA for the 1979-80 season. Okay. Now, when we talk about the scoring leader, Mr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, prior to LeBron, if it got introduced in 79-80, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The first decade of Kareem's NBA career did not have a 3-point line. And when we look at how much of the 38,000 points came from the first 10 years of Kareem's career, we're looking at 22,141 points. He ended his career with 38,000. That is well more than half of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record in an era without the 3-point line. You know how crazy it would look if Kareem just went out there and discredited LeBron breaking his scoring record because LeBron played in an era with a 3-point line? That would be insane. That's some hater-ass shit. And it'd be one thing, I also think it'd be one thing if she said this on a separate occasion, you know what I'm saying, detached from, you know, if she just went on a podcast, they asked her about this question, and she just went on about her day. It's very weird to me when Iowa rolled out the red carpet for her. You know what I'm saying? Made a tribute for her. And she didn't have this energy when Iowa and Caitlin Clark herself was complimenting her. And now 19 hours ago, she did have to backtrack her statements to clarify my remarks made at an awards ceremony on Saturday. No one respects Caitlin Clark's accomplishments more than I do. I disagree. This is why I accepted Iowa's invitation to participate in Caitlin's senior day. They literally invited her out to part. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They invited her out to participate in Caitlin's senior day. My message was a lot has changed on and off the court, which makes it difficult to compare statistical accomplishments from different eras. Each is a snapshot in time. Caitlin holds the scoring record. I salute her and will be cheering for her throughout the rest of her career. That is not what you said. You said specifically the record cannot be broken because of X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Nah, the record is what it is. It got broken. Just show love. That's literally all you have to do. Just show love. You were also at an award ceremony that was meant to just show love to your accomplishments. And you just had to throw shade at Caitlin. It's weird. It's weird, bro. It's weird.
Should be. Like, these people, they be hating and then they be complaining when they not getting as much money as they could get. Put this in perspective. A men's college basketball player, Jared McCain, is getting NIL deals for nail polish before some WNBA players. Endorsement deals for WNBA players. Like, that's insane. Look what they said.
I've seen a lot on the internet on that one. Is it the bye-bye? Wave bye-bye to your own career.
And nobody laughed, bro. She's lame as bro. This is the one that really pissed me off. Reporter asked the Breonna Stewart girl. Mind you, this girl right here, she played with like 12 pros. She won 4, I think she won 4 national championships, but she played with 12 pros, bro, on her team. So she was supposed to win.
You know, do you need to have a championship for legacy when you talk about a women's college basketball player? You are the expert on this since you have 4. Caitlin Clark need a championship to be considered one of the greats in women's college basketball history.
Yeah, she does.
No, she does not, bro.
Yeah, I think it's also important to clarify within the question. She asked just to be one of the greats. And maybe Breonna Stewart misheard. Okay, retract your statement then. Maybe she heard to be the greatest. To need a championship to be one of the greatest when even NBA players aren't held to that standard is crazy. To hold Caitlin Clark to that standard when you went to UConn and stacked the deck in your favor because you were going to a prestigious school who has a history of winning championships, who can have a strong recruiting class, you know what I'm saying? While Caitlin Clark, while, accountability pie chart type shit, she did decide to go to Iowa instead of going to a stronger school, but now she's in that spot, and she has carried that team to 2 national championship appearances. And she, not only that, but the bigger impact of her game is elevating women's basketball to a different stratosphere it hasn't been. But now she can't be one of the greats because what? Because what? She couldn't be USC? A team that's only lost 3 times in the last 3 years? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Like, what the fuck? I don't even remember who won the Natty for women's basketball 3 years ago. I don't even think I remember it for men's. All people are gonna remember is the impact this girl, like, she's bringing out stars to the game. Tune in to women's basketball because of her. She don't need to win a chip. I don't think she's gonna beat South Carolina. She don't need a chip.
Because then you're gonna look 10 years back and you're gonna see all the records she's broken and the points and stuff like that. But anybody knows, your goal when you play college basketball is to win a national championship.
No, next name. They just be hating, bro. Like, you could just see the jealousy in their face. That's why the NBA continues to grow and the WNBA stays where it's at, because the players who are at the top, they embrace the talent early, bro. They tap in early as fuck. From high school, they already tap in. They giving them like, yo, we've been talking about the top players you see in the NBA, besides like Ja, some people, like most of them, we've been talking about these since high school. We've been talking about them since high school. This girl can help you get some more money, you gonna hate. Like, yo, if that's how you feel, show that on the court. You don't do that shit to the media. This case,
I'll give Brody a pushback here in this regard. I don't think the reason why the WNBA hasn't been growing is because of the fact that WNBA players are just bitter as fuck. I don't think that's the case. I do think there's a marketability issue that Caitlin Clark is addressing right in front of our eyes. You know what I'm saying? I always felt as if the WNBA was just missing that relatable superstar figure that everyone can relate to that transcends the sport. There have been great players in the past. I do think recently there have been, people that started the snowball. Just a little bit, little push. Sabrina Ionescu. I do think Paige Beckers was more hype going into her college career than Caitlin Clark. I've been new about Paige Beckers. I just thought she got injured and her career was fucked. But the fact that she came back, good shit. I've known about a Candace Parker before. I've known about a Breonna Stewart before. Like, I've known a couple names before. But yeah, I think there's a marketability issue, and that's why the game hasn't evolved for the W, or from a viewer perspective. That's why it hasn't. I don't think it's just them being bitter. There are other reasons to it.
Caitlin Clark, just talk about having the spotlight on her.
I think the biggest thing for myself is, like, when you're in the spotlight like this, there's going to be, a million different opinions on you, and for as many people that are going to love you, there's going to be people that don't like you, and that's the case with every professional athlete, men or women, playing at the highest stage. And I think what I've been able to do over the course of my career is just focus on the opinions of the people inside our locker room. That's what I really care about, the people that I love to death, the people that, have had my back every single second of my career, have been the ones that have believed in me more than anybody. And to me, that's really the only opinions that I'm concerned with are my teammates, my coaches, my family, the people that I want to make proud every single day.
This is
It's so weird to me how hate starts. It's just so weird. You know what I'm saying? Cause if you're in her position, I'm not gonna lie, she has been the closest thing to a shut up and dribble ass player I've seen in my fucking life, bro. No podcast appearances. Every time she's on the podium, she just says the most PC PR correct shit. She is a shut up and dribble ass player. She just goes out there and ball. She only cares about her personal circle. She only cares about her teammates. She doesn't speak down on everyone when they speak down on her, when they're trash talking to her. She shows love to an Angel Reese. She shows love to a LSU. She shows love to a Don Staley. She shows love to a HVL. She shows love to a Maya Moore. She shows love to they forgot her name, Lynette Woodward. She is a shut up and dribble ass player. You go on her Instagram, she don't even be posting that much. You know what I'm saying? This is professional ass pictures with Nike ass captions. But because people want to push their agenda so much, because people want to politicize everything nowadays, because of the fact that everyone got agendas to push from both sides of the fence. Now we've gotten into this weird ass realm of, like, what the fuck are we even talking about? What the fuck are we even talking about? It's weird. And I will say this is not something exclusive to Caitlin Clark. I think for a majority of LeBron's career, he was also this. I mean, I guess not as much because, you know, he tatted on the chosen one. You know, when he went to Cleveland, he did the not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7 shit and really became a villain then. So I guess it wasn't LeBron. But hey, I'm thinking about my guy. What has Jason Tatum done for real? No, I'm kidding. Even Jason Tatum, you can look at the Kobe comparisons and all that shit. Caitlin Clark has literally, like, you can't even, like, what is that for her? I think she's come out and said, like, Maya Moore's her favorite player, right? But I don't. It's weird, bro. It's weird.
Caitlin talking about how she's grown over the course of her career.
In my career, I thought everything I did had to be perfect, whether it was, a lot of it always relied on my shooting. And I think over the course of my career, I've been one that's been able to, you know, realize I'm not going to be perfect every game. There's going to be good games. There's going to be bad games. But I still have to be somebody that my team can lean on in those moments. And I think also accepting, like, I don't have to score every single point for this team to win. And I think that's exactly what you saw last night. You know, I didn't shoot the ball great. You know, I made some shots there at the end. I thought Nika played tremendous defense, picked me up 94 feet, you know, and that's some of the things that South Carolina is going to do too. And I think as a team in general, like, our offense wasn't great, especially in that first half. But, you know, we went into the locker room at halftime. Nobody was flustered. I wasn't frustrated with myself. You know, I just continued to chip away and make some big shots there in the fourth quarter and set my teammates up for success. And I thought Hannah Stolke played really good, so I was trying to get her the ball as much as I could. I thought Kate came up with some big plays. So I definitely think that's the biggest way I've matured and grown over the course of my 4 years is just, you know, never get rattled by things that don't go your way. You know, basketball isn't a perfect game. That's what's going to happen. And that's what I'm honestly the most proud of.
I know for a fact her teammates with her. Like, she made all them motherfuckers rich as hell. Or not, you know, not OD rich, but they made some good money. You don't get a good NIL deal just because you had a good game. They have to with her for life. But y'all let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section. I personally feel like that little sneak diss and shit is lame as especially for a young talent who can help you guys make more money. She's bringing.
Yeah, I think it's also weird. I know I've been very on confirmation bias, but hey, I'm indulging it. Y'all don't want change for real, bro. Y'all don't want change for real. You get the change that you want, but when it comes, there's bitterness coming from X side of the coin. And I do just want to shout out the people who have been showing Caitlin Clark love, because if you watch the, you know, WNBA, or not the WNBA, but if you watch the telecast over the last throughout all of March Madness, it has been overwhelmingly positive. You know, it has been a majority. It has been a net positive situation. I guess it's just annoying and sad to see from her potential slash future, not even potential, her future peers. People that she will be, you know what I'm saying, rubbing shoulders with literally a week from now, because the NBA draft is on the 15th. That, you know, I've done a lot for your sport. I've put a lot of eyeballs on your sport. But because you weren't the one to do it, because you believe you're better than me, but you didn't get the attention that I got, why are you saying fuck me for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to help you. So what are you doing? I've even seen some tweets on that timeline talking about, don't get it twisted. Caitlin Clark is joining Aaliyah Boston's team. And don't ever forget that. I'm like, God damn, bro. What? Yo, what? What? It's cool, bro. Let me know what y'all think. Shout out to Brody for the video. That is once again Sam Okoro for the video. Calm little video. I like that right there. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace.